Alright everyone, it's Skoggul. I'm back. I'm a little overdue for a video log. Been really busy with life. Have my daughter here for the summer, so it's kind of been crazy. What we're going to work on is we're developing a podcast to talk about current issues with the game, to talk about things like the free champions right then for newer players who haven't tried them, and talking about some of the other things we're going to do. We're going to try to get some of the higher level ELO players to comment on things and why things are considered inviable to them, where they wreck lower ELO games, and maybe they can shed some light onto how to deal with them, like how Scion stomps for a certain ELO range and then in normal games, and what to do, and how Shaco's never banned higher ELO, but he's banned constantly lower ELO. Hopefully we can get some insight to some of these things, how to deal with people, how to deal with Master Yi, lower ELO, and why he's not as viable higher ELO. Just one line of thought, one thing we're doing. We're also looking to start doing audio guides for champions, because right now you can read a quick guide, get on a champion, play him, reread the quick guide, and you can't remember everything they said. So I want to time it out to be about 30-minute guides, audio, where you talk about what your goals are with that champion as an early game, different ways to play the champion. For instance, like an AD Scion versus an AP Scion, different builds, different things to get, and make different audio guides for jungle, for mid, for top, and kind of comment and keep reminding you of things like, do they have double AP? Don't forget to get an Abyssal Scepter. Do you have double AP? A Woda is now a valid option if you can talk your mid into it. Just bringing up things that are viable on champions in certain situations. They say it in the guides, but then you can't remember it till you've played like 20 or 30 games with the champion, and it's hard to remember skill orders, it's hard to remember things when you're learning a champion. And so maybe we can get these audio guides, because you can't watch a video while you're playing, but you can listen on your headphones to an audio guide while you're learning a champion. If that's a valid thought, please comment on here, like this video, let me know if this is something we want to see, if this would help. Give me some ideas there. The next set of, as soon as I'm done with mid, I'll have 4 done this week. I'm almost done with my RE1. I think it's rendering right now. I will have an interesting one where they did another lane swap, and they put Yorick against Morgana. And the reason you put Yorick against Morgana is he can throw down that ghoul, and that ghoul can stop the binding, and it just makes Morgana not as viable, and you can harass her all day. And the minions, if you get all 3 of them on her, it's like you're auto-attacking her, and she has her shield, but it doesn't really stop those guys hitting her. So it's a very interesting strategy. I'll play the game for you and show you how that goes. That will be out Wednesday of this week. We're in the Dianna patch now. I'd like to try her out. I haven't picked her up yet. We'll see if I do. I might get her. I own almost every champion, and we're getting closer to trying everyone. It's the new champions that are hard for me. So we'll get there. And as far as the website goes, we had some issues with the programmers in finals, and now that they're basically out of finals, then we're going to get really onto it. We might be able to get the website to a basic running level in a month or 2. I won't have all the training guide work done, but we'll have a lot of the playability of our leagues and a place to go play in a tournament style, how you watch the tournaments online, what can you do. You want to imitate them, you go to solo queue, you get frustrated because people won't follow it. I'm going to have a place to have team finders, I'm going to have a place to have all this stuff, and we'll see how it works. It's just going to be like lower ELO tournaments. Maybe we'll see how it works. We've got some ideas. We'll see how it actually functions out and how people pick up on it and how they like it. And that's really the changes since the last time I've done this. And those are the big deal things. Talk about what I've been playing. I've been trying to learn Jungle Hecarim. He's really fun. If you get CDR on him, his Q does a lot of damage, and if you get his W down where you're at 40% CDR, and instead of 14 seconds, it's like 8 seconds, and it lasts 4 seconds, then half the time you're in that W mode, and that W mode is ridiculously strong. It really is. You are in God mode almost, especially how tanky you can build and still do damage. You can tower dive as soon as you rush that. You get double GP10, rush a Frozen Heart, and all of a sudden ganking tower dives with your fear, with your catch up, with your knock aside moves. It's really, really, really easy to pull off these awesome ganks. It's kind of crazy how well it works. He reminds me of Shyvana with mana, so that's kind of a downside. Just different thoughts, things that I'm working on with some of the people I play with. We're trying to either, when we duo queue together, because that's the trick, is if you go bottom, it's really tricky because we might win our lane, but we have little to no influence on whether mid, jungle, or top does well. And so if we don't lose our lane, we have no control of the game. We've lost it. And if we win our lane, we still can get outplayed by their mid, by their top, by their jungle. And you lose 3 of those aspects, then winning bottom lane it's hard to carry that way because they can't protect you. Their assassins can get on you. So we're having some issues with that. And so we tried something new. We do the jungle and mid every time we can get it. And here's the thing about jungle mid. If you take one of them with mana in a pre-made, because this is duo queue, and one of them with mana. So if you run Twisted Fate, run Dr. Mundo. There's some decent combos. We came up with a really strong objective winning combo is Mordekaiser plus Maokai. And what you do is Mord doesn't need the blue, so you keep giving Maokai the blue. Maokai with blue the whole time, he's going to get a little more farm, a little more solo experience in his jungle. And with the saplings and wards, you can start taking 3 of the buffs, and you have good dragon control. Because the problem with Mordekaiser and Maokai throws down that thing to fight. Your team fights over dragon, you're going to win a lot of them. Because how strong Mord is. You can kite Mord, but when you're going for an objective, he can help the whole team get objectives. He can help the whole team. You can go fight over their buff because they have to basically, Mord gets strong. And that's his strength. His weakness is chasing someone down. So don't. Just stay there, get your objective. If they run, take the objective. And then you have Maokai who throws down his ultimate, and it stacks with Mordekaiser's already tankiness, ridiculous tankiness. And it's been a pretty strong combo we've seen. We played with it. I'm fairly convinced that if you have a duo queue partner, that one works. We're trying other ones. Mundo, and he's a good ganker and a good clearer. And you run Twisted Fate mid, so Twisted Fate takes all the blues. And sometimes we even give Twisted Fate the first blue, so he has an advantage really early in the laning phase. And that advantage can spiral with Twisted Fate and his ability to warp around the map. And so you take a Mundo or a Shyvana with him, and then you don't gank heavy, you gank mid once. What I do when I'm Mundo, Sam Mundo, I give the blue away. I'm going to smite it early. As soon as smite's back up, I'm just going to clear until smite's back up, and I'm going to gank mid once, just to scare him, just to run out. If I can land a cleaver, maybe I can get him to blow flash. We already have blue, Twisted Fate. Occasionally pick up a kill. It's not very often, but a lot of time you're ganking just to get that flash blown. And what we do is, okay, so I blow the flash, and I'm Mundo, and I'm just farming. You know how fast Mundo farms. I can steal their big Wraith at least while I'm doing this, and I go over, and then as soon as my smite's back up, I go get red. As soon as red's up, I gank top, and you can't really, it's hard to gank bottom early, so I try to gank top, or I gank mid again if I'm on blue side, because when I take red, I'm not near top, so I'll go gank mid again to give Twisted Fate more of an advantage. So what you do is then you farm a little bit, you pressure where you need to, and you counter jungle bottom if your bottom pushes. You get you do a lane gank, and if they come to gank it, you can win that gank because they're not ready for it. They do something dumb and jump out, and you fight, and you win. That's like, as a jungle, you need to think about that. If your lane's pushing, and you're like, oh, I can't gank that. Yes, you can. You go in the lane, you go through the brushes, you hide there, wait patiently. They will gank or attack you for being overextended, and you can get the kill. Or the lane resets because the tower, their AD carry comes out, you can get the kill. It's really interesting how it works. It's kind of cool. If they ward that brush, it can actually not work, but it's hard for them to ward the river and the brush early. If they do, you can watch them if they use all 3 wards right away. You're probably not safe to do this ganking style. Anyhow, the goal is to get Twisted Fate ahead, feed him constant blues, feed him constant gold, get him experience advantage, get him a level advantage so he can fight them, and try to spiral the game with Twisted Fate. Every time you're in a position with Mundo that they're not backing out, you try to rush in oracles. I kind of go Heart of Gold, have my boots, upgrade my boots, usually to Ninja Tabi, so I can tower dive a little better, and then I go for the Spirit Visage. As soon as I Spirit Visage, I feel safe and comfortable getting an Oracle, and then I just clear wards, get in position. Every time I'm in position, try to farm when Twisted Fate's ult is down, and when his ult is up, I try to get in ganking position, and then we do these overpowered 3-man ganks top, 4-man gank bottoms, and Twisted Fate just farms, pushes, and even if he has to take my race because he's extended, I go take their race because I'm Mundo. Anyhow, that's the strategy. You can do different things. Vladimir works really well with Maokai as well, because in an objective fight, you can do, your whole team does more damage and your whole team takes less damage. You fight over objectives and those ults aren't wasted. If you fight and try to chase, they're going to run out of it. So just think about what you're trying to accomplish. Anyhow, that's the updates. This is my video log. I hope to see you guys soon. I'll have more videos up this week, totaling 4 by the end of the weekend. So we'll be done with mid lane soon, on to either jungle or top. I haven't made up my mind yet. Anyhow, take care. We will hopefully see you soon. Good luck in your games.